Okay, 31 weeks was actually super eventful. He's pressing something weird up on my belly button and it feels super strange. I have a super weird baby growing in my belly. Okay, no, I'm gonna just buzz through my symptoms and then we'll get down to the most exciting part of 31 weeks. Well, I don't know if I would call it exciting, but the most exciting to hear about for sure. If you watch 30 Week Bump Date, then you'll know that I'm having some like weird pulled hip flexor groin thing that I can't truly explain clearly, but hurts and makes walking harder than it was with a giant baby in your stomach. So feels like there's a, you know, like the sciatic nerve where that is. It doesn't hurt in my butt at all. It hurts like right next to like the business end of birth. And kind of in the front, right next to like my thigh joint. Like basically it hurts where when you cut a chicken open, when you like take its thigh and you cut it off of the breast and the ribs, like that's where on me it hurts, but not on my butt. I don't know, whatever. It feels like it's a pulled muscle, but none of the muscles there make any sense. So I think it's a sciatic nerve, but it doesn't hurt in my butt. Again, it's not in my thighs, I don't know. So there's more of that this week. It's gotten better. By the end of 31 weeks, it really was kind of just hit or miss. It was just like, here sometimes, here, not all the times. That being said, still waddling big time. I just don't think that's gonna go away. I think it's only gonna get worse. But when I don't have that pulled hip flexor groin thingy, then the waddling is like not nearly as bad. So I'm now at the point where flipping in bed is like getting out of bed or doing anything at all really is much harder than it used to be. So even when I was big, like in the past where I thought I was big, I mean I was big, you know, compared to my normal size, I could manage and it wasn't really that bad. Now it's to the point where, first of all, I'm so terrified of getting diastasis, where your abdominal muscles just like split open. I'm scared of getting that. So I probably overanalyze my like body awareness. There's a name for it, like body wise or something, where you try to never like lift up your torso with your abdomen. I'm so scared of getting that diastasis thing. Like my uncle had it, and he didn't even have a baby. I mean, obviously, I don't know why he had it, but like he had the surgery for it. My mom took care of him for whatever reason. And I heard all the gory details and I do not want to have to go through that. Flipping a bed, super hard. And at least I feel more comfortable in bed now. I just barely recently started taking magnesium oil again. I would like slather it on my arms before I go to bed. I did that in the first trimester and I really think that's a huge reason why I didn't have like much morning sickness at all. I just kind of had nausea after I ate and I think I was just eating like too much, or my body was just like, we don't like food anymore, you suck, okay. This light is killing me. Anyway, I started taking magnesium oil and I think that's helping relax my muscles when I'm in bed and helping me fall asleep. So I highly recommend it. It's good for you anyway, even if it doesn't like alleviate any symptoms. So anyway, I'm more comfortable in bed now than I have been. I also got the Luna Lullaby nursing pillow, which is like a boomerang nursing pillow. And that's what they use at my pediatrician's office. And it doubles as a pregnancy pillow. And it's like covered in that minky fabric. I love it. Ugh. So I started using that and like 15 other pillows, and together we can conquer anything. And it's not been as bad. Like the sleeping has gotten better actually. That being said, flipping in bed is like impossible. It's like completely impossible. I need like a pulley system. That's pretty much it for the symptoms. I will tell you, I gained, let's do the math. First I have to like figure out how much I even gained. Okay, weight gain. 15.8 pounds is my weight gain up until now, the end of 31 weeks. That's good. That means if I gain another pound per week until the end of the pregnancy, I'm gonna come out like right at 25 pounds, which is my goal. So that's exciting. I also had a root beer float and one of those like chocolate marshmallow kind of cookie things last night. So like that's gotten worse. The dessert has gotten worse. So I'm feeling, you know, exceed my expectations there. Okay, so the most exciting thing to hear about that happened in 31 weeks is I had a huge scare with preterm labor. So I was at the beach with my family and it's July. It's the middle of July, and we went to Florida, and we stayed in this house across the street from the beach. It was just a little street, and then the beach. There wasn't like a bunch of other houses you had to walk through or whatever. There's no boardwalk or anything. So that basically means that it's a bajillion degrees. I mean, literally the heat index was like 102 every day. So to get to the beach, you have to go from the house down this like little street or whatever, and then go across the other street and then walk through all the sand to set up your set, which is fine, whatever. Normally could not care less. That sounds great. So the issue was that it was really hot, and I had been with my dad driving around all day. I'd gotten an assignment from a client, and I was going around looking for product to do some shots on the beach to fulfill that assignment, because I'm working through my maternity leave right now. Like, I'm working to take care of that right now, so I just have like a bajillion shots I have to do. I wanted to get as many done as possible so I could do more when I was there. So we drove around all day, getting out of the car, blah, doing all this stuff, like running in and out of the heat. And then we got back, and I had all my stuff, but all my family is down at the beach. This is how it starts, right? They're all down at the beach. So I pack up all my stuff. I have like 20 bottles of liquid so I can do the shots, and all my other stuff. And I kind of on a time limit because we had an appointment a little bit later. So I'm like bolting down, you know, I don't have time to like ask one of the little, like the kids to come help. There's like a 13-year-old boy I would totally have made help me, but I didn't have enough time for all of that. So anyway, I started feeling kind of weird. I went down to the beach. I was doing all these shots and standing up and getting way down low in the sand and whatever to get the right angles. And I noticed that I was having more lightheadedness than normal. So, I mean, it's pretty normal when you stand up from being sitting. When you're pregnant, you feel lightheaded, and it was really bad that day. So I'd have to stop and like close my eyes for like, I don't know, 10 seconds, which that's a lot. Most of the time I'm just kind of like, ugh, and then it's fine. But anyway, so I like rush over to the beach, like do some shots, and I'd be like rush back and like take a shower and blah, blah, blah. And we go to get our nails done. And then a little bit later we come back, and we wanted to go to the beach again to do some like family photos, and it's still 100 degrees outside, you know, and I'm like doing more shots for my client, and I'm just like way down low in the sand. And if I weren't pregnant, I would have like laid down on my belly, done the shots. They were that low, and every time I would get up, I was just like, and I started noticing that I was having Braxton Hicks, but they were just, the tightening, they didn't really hurt. So I was like, whatever, not a big deal. I started just feeling bad, like just not right, like just not right at all when we were doing these photos. And I was just kind of like, maybe I'm just dehydrated. I'm sure I was dehydrated, certainly. Then we go back, we're trying to rush to go to dinner because we know there's gonna be a big wait. And so we're like running to get to the trolley, and I had like been chugging water like in between dropping all my stuff off at the house and going and running to meet them at the trolley stop. Still feeling just like not good. Just like, not kind of like, I just don't feel good, but like, don't feel right. I don't feel right at all. And so when I got to the stop, I noticed I was having painful contractions, which is not normal for me at all. I don't usually have that frequently either. So I was having them much more frequently, like several in an hour, which they say if you have like more than like a couple in an hour, then you need to like watch it. And I was definitely having several in a row. So we got on the trolley, and I was like, I'll just and I started feeling completely sick to my stomach. And like I had like a peanut butter and jelly like in the car on the way to the thing, like shoving it in my mouth or anything. It's not like I had some like weird thing to eat or whatever. And I still was feeling like I was going to throw up, and I really thought that I might, like, I was considering like, what would anyone do if I just projectile vomited like all over everything? Something that was funny from Bradley class, they said, you know to go to the hospital when if you try to take a picture of the laboring mother, if she freaks out and is like, no, don't, then it's time to go to the hospital. And my mom was like, oh, I'll take a picture of you and your dad. And I was like, do not. Like I felt horrible. And I was also very focused on like trying to be calm and like relax my body and just like cool down and do all that. Trying to like use my hypno babies. I was like using my P's Q's and like trying to do anesthesia and stuff, but understand why this is happening because nothing remotely close to this had happened before. That all happened. And I still feel like I'm going to completely throw up. We get to the restaurant and I am so focused. I was like, I have to just get into the air conditioning. I just have to relax. And hopefully if I drink a lot of water and just totally calm down and just totally relax, then this will stop the contractions and the nausea, which to me kind of freaked me out because that can be a sign of going into labor, and I had not felt like that in a very long time. Like even when I had the nausea at night in 30 weeks, was not like that. I felt like I'm gonna throw up, right? I'm gonna like, and it came on very suddenly. It was just, ugh. But anyway, my SPD that we talked about earlier, where it's kind of like would come and go, but it wouldn't go from nothing to like incredibly strong. So I got off the trolley and I noticed like I could hardly walk. It was that bad. So kind of scary. I kind of felt like this is my body releasing a ton of relaxant because the baby's gonna come. And oh, holy shit. Anyway, I was still like, okay, I'll be fine. I just need to get into the air conditioning. I just have to like drink some water. It was, whew. Anyway, of course it is a 2-hour wait, but they could seat us in the like lower area where it's basically you're outside and it's still 100 degrees outside. That's the heat index at least. And there's no breeze at all, no air conditioning. It's like trapped area. It's not really open. And I burst into tears. I am not an alarmist. I have not been an alarmist with a pregnancy. Like sure, I researched, but I have called my OB once and it was because of like, I had really bad like period type cramps and I was wondering like, is that bad? I don't know. And they said no. And I was like, cool, see you next month or whatever. Like I Google things cursorily and if I find like generally things are okay, then I'm like, oh, okay, great. But in that moment, I knew if I continued to push myself and did not cool down and, you know, really relax, I was gonna go to L&D in Pensacola without my husband, who was at home because he had to go to work and whatever, he has a case. Whatever. So I wasn't even with my husband. I'm telling him what's going on and he's like, go to the ER. And I'm like thinking the irony, like I know that no birth goes as planned, but I always kind of thought mine will. And here we are. I'm gonna have the baby at 32 weeks basically in Pensacola without my husband or my doula or anyone that I know. I mean, well, obviously I know my whole family, but I meant in terms doctors, nurses, stuff like that. So anyway, I burst into tears and I'm just thinking, I can't do this. Like it was completely terrifying. And my mom saw me and she was like, something is wrong. Something is super wrong. And the hostesses were all like freaking out and they like let me sit down and then we went to the bar and you know there wasn't great air conditioning there but it was like something and I was drinking water and eventually the contractions slowed down and then they stopped and I went with my mom and we took a cab and we left and felt a lot better. The cab driver offered to deliver the baby. He said he had done it before. So I feel better then. Maybe not, but after I had really gotten cooled down and just relaxed, I felt a lot better. But oh my God, like that was by far the scariest moment of my pregnancy. Obviously, I haven't had any other real worries, but I felt the whole time he was moving. He seemed fine and I knew it was just me, but I didn't want him to come early because he's not ready. He would be fine, but I didn't want him to have to go through NICU and all of that. I felt so guilty because I didn't want to seem like this drama queen in front of my family just trying to get like attention or whatever. But I knew that if I didn't, that I would end up doing something that could risk his best chance at just being born and having a normal infanthood or whatever. Anyway, so I guess I was a little more paranoid the next couple of days about his movements, and anytime he was just kicking the ever-living daylights out of me, I was just so thrilled because I didn't want that to have affected him at all and I wanted to make sure that we were both totally stable. So the next day, of course, I just stayed at home and like stayed inside. And the irony is that the hip flexor thingy and the SPD and all of that was dramatically better when I like really took it easy and stayed in and just worked. So I'm not used to being limited. There haven't been many things that I haven't done because I am pregnant, and I know that I'm like 31 weeks pregnant and it's 100 degrees outside. I mean, we live in the South and it's very hot, very humid, but it's still uncomfortable to me to feel limited at all. But that was a very clear sort of like wake-up call that I have to take it easy and just listen to my body. And I totally ignored my body for much of the day and I can't do that anymore. So super downer, I know. But that day I really realized, you know, when it became an issue, all I thought was, all that matters is this baby. When I was on the trolley and I was thinking like, I'm gonna throw up and I'm gonna have this baby and oh my God, holy shit. All I was thinking was, all that matters is this baby. And that's Really good. I didn't really have any cravings. Nice segue. I know. I didn't really have any cravings. I think primarily because I didn't really have the option to like fulfill them as easily. When I'm at home, I can just like go grab something and I know everything is and I know how to get to everything and whatever. Being on vacation, I didn't have my own car and I wasn't with Omar where we could just like kind of go pop over anywhere, and I didn't know where anything even was, so I think that's why I didn't have any cravings, and that makes me feel like all my cravings are totally in my head, which makes them not quite as fun. That's pretty much it. I'm happy to have another week pregnant and not with a newborn preemie baby. So super downer ending to the video. I feel like there's something else that happened, but there's not. Oh, I know what it was. I got a Mamaroo. That's right. So for some reason, we were driving into Pensacola and I was like, I'm gonna look on Craigslist and see if they have any Mamaroos. I don't know why. I have no idea why, but I found one for like $140, like brand new. Her baby just didn't like it, which is part of the reason why I thought I wanted to get a Mamaroo, is because I could just resell it if like the baby didn't like it. I ended up meeting her with my parents in like the parking lot of an Outback and testing this Mamaroo and buying it on vacation. So we got a Mamaroo and I'm super excited, and I really like its design and I'm really excited, and the baby better like it. So you have one job, baby, and it's to like your Mamaroo. And like eat all the time and poop a lot and wait until 38 weeks at least to come out. Okay, bye!